With that said, what challenges are you going to run into when it comes to this site being historic?
One of the biggest ones was making sure that we were going to be able to meet egress code for turning this into a residential property. There has to be an egress window, right? An opportunity to exit in every single bedroom. And so you have to create a door or a window in the exterior in order to meet code. And so it was just working with Detroit, with the Historic Commission and the architect to figure out where the bedroom should go so that we were not adding in doors and windows to the actual Kercheval and Seminole sides.
What's up, everyone? My name is Brittany McGee. I'm here at 1815 Seminole, which was a Detroit Land Bank Authority property that we sold to awesome owners who are looking to do a really cool renovation. Obviously, our entire goal with projects like this, especially in historic districts, is to make sure that projects go off without a hitch so people can bring blight to beauty. And so this project is going to be super awesome in a very tight-knit community. We went through a lot between city approvals, historic district approvals, to get the design approved. So I'm really excited for everyone to come through, come and see it, and see how the land bank kind of works with the community to bring projects back like this.
Absolutely. A few questions with regard to the submission for this site, where there are a number of proposals.
There was. So we probably received 7 or 8 really substantive proposals. Everybody provided what they needed in different visions. And so it was really about what aligned with historic district and our city partners. This is all kind of a teamwork process. And so we really wanted to find someone who was invested emotionally in a project like this, because over the years we've seen it kind of come and go. And so we wanted something that would be good for the community, but also someone who could perform and execute. And that was really important to us. So we did have a lot of really cool proposals come around.
Nice. So, out of the proposals, the 7-ish, what stood out about this one?
Yeah, I think that the design aspect of it, especially interior design, was really cool. This was a couple who seemed to be invested and wanted to take on a project that was definitely riskier, or on the riskier side, and they were really invested into helping us understand the vision. And so that was super important to us, aside from just having the basics of proof of funds and all those normal things, being able to show that they've completed previous projects, but really someone who was already kind of invested in the community, lived in the community. That was really important to us, and so that's kind of why we proceeded with this project, because it was cool and we knew they would be able to execute just based off of the emotional investment alone.
Absolutely. So where could people find opportunities like this?
Yeah. So in terms of the land bank, these kind of projects come around once in a lifetime, but we have vacant land all across the city where people could really bring kind of projects from the background into the forefront, right? So you can think and imagine of whatever you can put on a vacant parcel and build it up. And so if you go onto the land bank website, buildingdetroit.org, you'll find some really cool kind of vacant land parcels, commercial parcels, residential structures that we'll be marketing that people can really take advantage of and really, again, bring light to beauty.
Hi, how are you?
I got some cash.
Okay, perfect. For dog rescue, awesome.
Absolutely.
I have a little envelope so I can take that.
All right.
Rachel Nelson. I'm the CEO and principal designer of Conchetti. We're an interior design strategy studio located just a few blocks away in the Island View neighborhood. My husband, Joe, and I were dreaming big and decided to purchase this church in our dream neighborhood and turn it into our dream home.
Nice. So what was the process like going through Land Bank to kind of convince them to give you an opportunity? Because I've heard there were several submissions for this site.
There were several
including the
submissions.
association wanting this site as well. So like
didn't know that.
talk about that process of like getting to the point where you were actually able to convince the Land Bank to give you an opportunity to redevelop this site.
Well, they did put out an RFQ that we responded to, and they actually had one up, took it down, and then reposted another one that had questions specifically from historic as well, because it's not just the Detroit Land Bank here. This is a historic property, and the commission is dedicated and doing their job very well to make sure that this property is preserved. And so the RFQ response was a hefty one. It was one that we spent a lot of time, and I was able to recruit my incredible team at Conchetti to help build out. But we had to explain who we were, what our vision was. We put our commitment to the neighborhood. We put our portfolio, because this is what I do. I actually worked on houses in the Indian Village neighborhood throughout Detroit. So just showing this isn't new for us. We have experience, we have the team, we have the expertise and the know-how, the passion in the heart to make it happen. And we literally sent out the RFQ and just kept our fingers crossed that we knew that we were going to take this responsibility seriously, and we just hoped that they saw that in us, and luckily they did.
So this being a historic site, any historic tax credits going into the project?
No. Do you know of any I should apply for?
Well, I think on the federal side there may be some
Hey.
opportunity, so maybe I can email you some resources.
Yeah,
because
I'm all ears.
With that said, what challenges are you going to run into when it comes to this site being historic?
I think the biggest one was during the planning phase, but luckily our architect, which is 4545 Architecture, local, they're awesome, was able to help us navigate that, as they do a lot of work with the Detroit Land Bank and historic. But one of the biggest ones was making sure that we were going to be able to meet egress code for turning this into a residential property. There has to be an egress window, right? An opportunity to exit in every single bedroom. And so you have to create a door or a window in the exterior in order to meet code. And so it was just working with Detroit, with the Historic Commission and the architect to figure out where the bedroom should go, so that we were not adding in doors and windows to the actual Kercheval and Seminole sides.
Nice.
So it's most discreet, if you will.
Absolutely. Now, is there going to be a fence around here?
There will be a fence,
Okay.
yep, and Historic has approved it. but
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was definitely something I'm super grateful that they heard us out on, and they really weighed it heavily and made sure that it was the right decision. But one of the things being that this is a public property, or had been, right, is a commercial public space, and like transitioning it into a private home, it deserves a little bit more security and privacy.
Absolutely.
So I'm really grateful that they heard us out on that.
All right, where can we find you at?
You can find Conchetti, the interior design firm, at conchetti.studio, and you can also follow me directly, Rachel Nelson _444, for all of the details on this transformation.
Awesome.